What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hayden. This is where we talk about all things business, finance, or entrepreneurship related. A huge portion of this channel is dedicated to credit cards, whether we use them to gain reward points, travel experiences, basically just more value out of a card that you put into it, but all types of entrepreneurship or savings. So if that's something that you find interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel if you find I have done it justice, and smashing that like button for me as well. A lot of this channel over the last 2 months has been about credit card points and not too much actual entrepreneurship. But today we're changing it up. As you can tell by the title, what I want to talk about today is TURO. For people who don't know what TURO is, the best analogy is it's the Airbnb of cars. You're allowed to rent out your personal car to somebody else. TURO, just like Airbnb, will take a percentage of your earnings. And the reason they're going to do that is they cover you with insurance, they give you the platform to use, which is the customer base. But we're gonna talk about more of the logistics sides in another video. I just kind of want to go over what it is, how it works, and how much I've made. Now, I've been on TURO for 6 months now. However, I've only really gotten serious the last 3 to 4 months. And what I mean by serious is I've made all my cars as instant booking, meaning nobody has to message me and go through like a small interview process. They book the car, they book where it goes, I bring them the car, that's how it goes. So far I have done 36 TURO trips. I've had pretty much all good experiences, a couple issues with people smoking, but you could charge them a lot more for that, so it kind of weighs it out, but you have to do the math. Now, TURO is getting extremely competitive as far as pricing goes and logistics of where your car can be delivered or not delivered. So before we get into my earnings, let me just first clarify the position I'm in and how I'm able to deliver my cars. So first off, I work full-time at home. I have a couple different businesses that I run full-time, but it gives me the freedom to be able to just grab my computer, deliver a car, jump on the train, and do some work on the train, or if I have an internet connection. So I understand this is not going to be the same for everybody. You know, if you're working at another company from 9 to 5 and you've got to sit in traffic for an hour or 2 hours each way, I totally understand this isn't going to be exactly relatable to you because of the flexibility of delivering cars. But this is still an easy way to make some extra money on something that's just sitting in the driveway a lot of times, or an extra family car that you guys don't necessarily use too much. Again, you really got to weigh it out, see if the time is worth it to you and if the real benefits of somebody else driving your car is worth it. By the way, guys, real quick, I know this is like kind of annoying. It's bothering me too. I feel like I'm Secret Service, but I have the Sony a6000 camera, and the only aftermarket microphone you can put on is the shotgun or boom thing that goes on the top of it. I know nothing about cameras, obviously. And the audio is not great. So what I did is I linked this to my iPhone, and then I will sync the two to kind of see how it goes. So sorry. Welcome to my living room / office / dining room / studio / pet sitter, and welcome to TURO. So this is the homepage of the platform. What I'm gonna show you is my entire earnings. That way you can see exactly what I'm talking about and see if this is something that could relate to you. All right, so my earnings for this month have actually been really well. It's technically more than this. The reason being it's showing less is because this last weekend of March, the cars were booked, but they're booked until April, so it won't correlate the March earnings. It'll just pay that out for April. So there's about an extra $170, $180 right here. So really I made about $1,800 this month. Last month, as you can see, I did $1,313, which isn't too bad. They say in South Florida, March and April are some of the higher seasons month. What's great about living down here though, there really is almost an all season of tourism. Reason being is a lot of people are coming down from the winter as snowbirds here. Then you have spring break, people come down here to go to the beach, do all that good stuff. And then everybody's off of school in the summers, and you have people coming down here to go to the Disney parks, or again, just hang out by the beach. In January, I did $892, which wasn't great. I did take the car off for a couple days there, and this is with both of my cars. So let's go back to the first couple months before I was doing this with all the settings open, meaning that you had to actually message me to book my car. I could see what kind of days you were thinking, coordinate that way before everything was instant. So that would be 2018. and as you can see, it kind of sucked. I did $293 my first month doing this in October, and I think I took maybe 4 trips. Actually, I think I took about 2 trips. November, same thing, just only 1 car. That was my Mercedes-Benz. I mean, it makes my car payment, so I figured it was good trying it out, and I wanted to really see how the actual platform works, how the customer base works, before I went into this too much and let just anybody rent my car. But I gave it a couple months and I didn't have any serious problems. December was a great month with the holidays down there. I raised up my prices almost double. I had $958 that I actually netted, and I turned down a trip for $311. So really this could have been a much bigger month. Now, another thing real quick, the earnings that you're seeing here, this is net, meaning this is after the TURO fees. This is after the TURO fees. This is what I was paid out and sent to your bank account. That's a huge thing to consider because TURO does take up to 35%. I have it set under an insurance policy where they take only 25%, and I'm covered with a very substantial amount of insurance. But I'm going to make a video of that later on because it's a bit more complicated. I want to really get every penny broken down. Now, I know you're thinking, in these bigger months, a lot of people are going to assume, well, then you don't have a car for those months. Yes and no. What's great about this platform is it's so flexible. You know, you don't have to put your car up every single day. You can just put your car up for the weekends, and if you were to just do, you know, every weekend it gets rented 8 days, that should make your car payment and your insurance, which is a huge benefit. I mean, a lot of times people aren't even owning their cars. And if you really think about it, a bank owns your car if you have a loan against it. This car is depreciating at a rapid rate. It's probably the worst thing to ever put your money into. So you might as well get some flexibility and make an extra couple dollars if you're in the position to where you can. At least that's the way I look at it. It's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right and everybody else is wrong. You really have to figure out what works for you. So one of my cars up here right now is my 2014 Mercedes-Benz E350 Coupe. It does really well. I gotta say, I really have no problems with it. Now, as far as delivery, that took me a couple months to kind of figure out what makes the most sense with it. You really have to look at your area, what's gonna make sense for you, and I'm gonna show you why. Now, if you're going to an airport delivery, right, charging $50 to deliver to the airport on top of your daily fee, you know, if it costs you $50 in Ubers to get each way, so you're spending $100 on Uber, it's not really worth your time. You know, you really only be making a few dollars an hour. It doesn't make sense. So you have to really figure out what's the best for the customer that you know that they could pay for and also makes sense for you. Luckily, being in the Tri-County area in South Florida, I could take a train to every single airport for about $5 absolute tops. So for me, it makes a lot of sense. I'm able to edit these videos on the train as long as I have Wi-Fi or in the airport while I'm waiting or picking up. And you just really takes some time figuring out what people are going to be willing to pay and what's worth it to you. Another thing I do recommend is if you have a car that you're not getting a substantial amount of daily fees for, I would request a 3-day minimum when you're doing a TURO rental at an airport. What you can do here is put up trip preferences. Under your trip preferences, this is gonna put what type of notification you want for people to book, how much day notice you need to go to airports, what's the shortest or longest day possible people can use your trips for. So my car, I usually get about $70 a day. If they're going to be booking on a weekend, as you can see here, I require a 2-day minimum for trips that start on a Friday or Saturday. Reason being is, for me, if I'm getting $140 for the rental plus the $50 for the delivery, and it only costs me about $10 to get to and from there, and I'm able to work, that makes sense to me. I'm willing to do that. But for the most part, I've never had a problem with anybody doing less than 3 days over a weekend. They usually come in Thursday or Friday and keep the car till Sunday or Monday. So it's worked out pretty well. Another huge thing when it comes to getting your photos done with TURO, you want to have good quality photos. That's what attracts attention. That's what gets people to click yours over somebody else's. Even if somebody else has a nicer car, but they take really crappy photos, yours is going to come off much more professional. So I'm going to show you my actual listing for this car. Now, TURO will do a free session of photos for you. You have to let them know in advance. The problem that I see with it is every single person in my area has the same TURO photos in the same location. so it doesn't really make yours stand out. So I put my car in front of this gorgeous house that's kind of like the same color combination. I think it looks really great. So it attracts attention, it stands out a little bit more instead of having the same exact photos from TURO. One thing I could do more, I'm gonna go ahead and update it, is take better pictures of the inside of the car. People definitely want to see what their car is going to be like from the inside. Obviously, that's where they're going to be spending their time, on the outside. This is also widescreen on my iMac, so it's stretching it out. Normally, it'd be a little bit more compact. So with this car right now, I've had 22 trips. There's a trip right now that's going into April, and I already have a trip booked for the last week of April and the first week of May, so both car payments are made. I haven't had a car payment now in 6 months, been pretty nice. I'll put a little description about the car, and I'll put all the extra perks that come with it. You know, GPS, Bluetooth, heated seats, a sunroof, USB ports. I put also a lightning cord along with a micro USB cord. That way, whatever phone you have, you're able to charge. You want to make your customer have a good experience and remember your rental. Now, another huge thing, and I'm going to make a video on this another time, is adding extras. You can make a lot of money over time adding extras into your booking, meaning they can buy an additional service that isn't too much extra work for you. I have a one-way trip from Fort Lauderdale, Miami, or Palm Beach to Orlando. I haven't had anybody book that yet. Beach gear. A lot of people are here on vacation. They're going to the beach. I've had one person book that. Prepaid fuel, I've had 2 people book that, and the post-cleaning trip. Definitely stress that. Definitely stress that on them when they're booking, because that could add up a lot. And if you're new to TURO, I'm gonna leave a link down below in the description where you get 25 bucks off your first rental, or you get a referral fee if you decide to be a host. That'd be pretty awesome because I get 25 bucks too, so I greatly appreciate it. So guys, as you can see, I'm not getting rich doing this, but you're making an extra $1,000 a month on a depreciating asset, so you're able to make something on something that usually takes more money from you. Drive a couple extra cars you can get for this that pay for themselves, and also a major tax incentive that I'm gonna do another video on, because you can depreciate these cars to 0 and carry that over. I'm just telling you guys what works for me. It might be completely different for you. Yeah, I'm grossing $1,000, over $1,000 a month for the last 4 consecutive months. I know that's not a lot of money, but I'm basically doubling my car payment and my insurance, and you could pay a car off either twice as fast, pocket that money and depreciate the car to 0. You have a lot of different options. And if you want to hear more about these options and experiences, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think or what you guys want to see in the future for content. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the feedback I've been getting over the last month with the channel. It's definitely really cool to see this thing grow. So thank you so much for watching.